heart is no lie. All you can die. Never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side. Yeah, we in it for life. When I been up, it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic.
Appreciate you, Coach. One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport, Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerge from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. They find some open field here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Grant. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Let's go, deep, tighten up.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bears take over. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 24. First carry in the league here for David Montgomery, the man out of Iowa State. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A solid stiff arm. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
When you see a big-time run to the outside, it always comes back to setting the edge, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and they were perfect at setting the edge there.
And the funny part is, both sides of the ball talk about it. The offense has to set the edge so you can get outside. The defense wants to set the edge to control things so they can kick the run back inside.
Offense wins there.
Offense wins. Big.
They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Go, 180. Check.
On first down, Trubisky. The screen pass here to Cohen. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Here's Trubisky. And it's caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
4th down now after a loss of 2. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. DJ Chark, 75 yards. And the Packers have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Kyler Fackrell, the linebacker. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Corey Grant, 41 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the back.
And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got Burton here. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
42 the mic, 42 the mic.
On second and a yard, Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cohen. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Burton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just said.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky steps away to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Montgomery. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that. But I think that they were right about this one.
Escaping the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal.
He's checking. Crash.
Trubisky keeps it himself, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Good. 180. Alert. We own this.
Montgomery, they'll run for it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery with his 1st career touchdown in his 1st career game, as his guys are back within a single score. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. This is taken at his 4. And an alley to run. And they finally get to him, but not before he's past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams. The spark that often wins games.
On 1st down, Grant. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. On 2nd down, it's Grant. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle. Now Rodgers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. They'll run on first down. Cohen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
On first and 10, it's Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Trubisky. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, 29 yards. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Throw left side, complete. That's Grant. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a first and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Throwing now is Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Rodgers to throw once more. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we have hit halftime. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a third and long situation forthcoming. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. On third down, Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky, eluding the pressure right. That's complete right side to Gabriel. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now Trubisky to Cohen out of the backfield. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
On the ground, it's Montgomery, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut as his guys are able to regain the lead. Point after, right down the middle, and they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter. And
they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you with him? And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. That sack by Khalil Mack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. He's going to let this one go deep. And got his man complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that will get him one closer. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself,
and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I think this is where we see how the game has moved along a little bit. Free safety, no blitz, but reads the play, has no responsibility in coverage, and takes a gamble and goes and gets the quarterback.
Well, is that a spot, though, where when he's coming, the quarterback needs to be able to find somebody or not necessarily?
Has to, because with that amount of time coming from the free safety position, someone should break open. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He's got his tight end, Burton. They give him a gain of 37. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cohen. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
At the 17-yard line.
Go, 180!
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Play action. It's Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career. And he's going to need another one right. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. DJ Chark, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Crosby with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Trubisky to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener. And it's a first down. Trubisky now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Trubisky gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the 2nd level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
58, right over there, Yeah. Mike, 58.
Rodgers to throw again. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Bears' 49-yard line.
319. Back one. Here we go, D. Plant. Come again. Here I come again. Hey, Orville. Check 49. Check 49.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Rodgers now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Jones. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
The Bears on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He's back to throw. Finding Gabriel complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Rodgers to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions get up.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Rashawn Gary brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down.
Brings up third down and 17.
The Bears on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 17. One last shot for Trubisky. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Packers, they start the season with a great win on the road here in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they obviously fall defeat, and they'll look to get back on track next